Let's talk about meme coins today. We're going to talk about meme coins and what's happening with the broader crypto market and any DeFi opportunities. We've just gone live, so we'll give it just a second for everybody to join. All right, we should be good. Okay, so I've started a Telegram. It wasn't my intention, but I will be posting normally daily. Sometimes I get a little bit busy. So this is just talking about meme coin news. Obviously, things have been going up. It's very up market. There's no shilling here in the sense that I'm referencing just valid news or stuff that I think is pretty good. So there's a couple of small microcaps like BUU and Major that I've put in. And this is BUU. This token I've only just recently found out about, although it was in the Barrows chat far earlier. I just missed it earlier. So I posted it and it's now up like 88%. I haven't sold any. I've just been doing a DCA. Jupiter's DCA now requires $50 for one DCA order, which is a little bit high, but that's just what has to happen with the blockchain right now. And I just think it's kind of cool with the branding. However, overall, this is the first time it appeared in the Barrows and I never saw it. Barrows is from Topo. It's up like a significant amount. And I guess if you go from the tiny lows to what it is right now, then it's up massively. It's just really cool, but I don't actually know anything about it. So if you did jump in, you may consider taking out your initial. You don't have to do that, but let's say what that means is if you put in one sol and it climbs to 2 sol, you sell 1 sol, so you have your 1 sol, and then you've got something that you're going to take profit on in the future, potentially, or you're going to hold forever. I haven't sold any, so my advice I have not kept, but I'm just saying it's not my advice, not financial. It's just general respected advice. I'm just looking at it because I'm looking at this one. I think it could probably go quite high because it's branded really well. It's a ghost, BUU. But I wonder also why. Like, why is this doing well? It's pretty clever, and I'm noticing that there's a theme of art following this, and I'm not sure how long that's going to go for. This is their website, and I haven't played around with it. Shout out to Tyler, who's done all the research. But like, this is clean. Like, I wonder if there's a lot of kind of there's retardio, there's kind of like autistic nature of meme coins, that their websites can be like a 1990s webpage or 2000s webpage, kind of shiny bells and whatnot. Whereas this is really clean and really well branded, which makes me think that the person behind it is definitely like worthy, a very decent designer, but I don't know who it is or anything like that. It just works, and I wonder, does this appeal to the masses more than the ones that are a bit more autistic? Maybe I'll just show you what I mean by kind of autistic. I'm keen for your thoughts, because this is something I'm putting a lot of effort into to work out what does well, so we can do well, and then we could rotate into our soul and whatnot. Total pops. Okay, this is Popcat Solana, so maybe not autistic there. Maybe it was Retardio. I can't actually remember which one. Restardio. Can't remember which one was a bit autistic now, to be perfectly honest. This, and I don't mean autistic in any way to offend anybody. I'm just saying this is what this community is using. They're using it a little bit, more on the spectrum. Bright colors and things that like don't visually look appealing, but they tend to do well. So which one works for you? Let me know. I'm keen to learn. All right, let's move on to the next bit of news. All right, so Fwog is another one that's I think the branding is good. It's cool. It's a frog, and I first heard about this at Breakpoint from Tooth Fairy, who's part of Kamino, and I didn't buy any. I have a small bag. I've just got like a DCA that's just operating. From the time I mentioned it, it kind of went up a little bit and it's coming back down. This has a sizable market cap, but it's clever. And I think I'm just adding a little bit to this. Nothing, of course, is financial advice. It's, most of my money just goes into just boring soul and staking it because it does well. Now this, I'm not calling out this person. You can follow this person or not follow this person. I'm just more referencing the fact that we're seeing a very specific, let me hide my face for a second. We're seeing a very specific system of art. So it's like we've got this new sub-narrative moving, which is arty meme coins, not freaking. We've graduated away from taking a screenshot of an animal, like a mooding or whatever, and now we're looking at artsy stuff. So I'm wondering if this is the new meta. They put in a little bit of effort and they try and maybe create that NFT vibes and back to meme coins. Now, speaking of meme coins, somebody was hacked for their GIGA and they lost a huge amount, and someone was stupid. The hacker was very stupid. They dumped all this and they had such crazy slippage by not splitting it up into different orders that the chart just went imploded. What would have happened here, just so you're aware, is it would have been pumped down. An MEV bot would have bought it up again very, very quickly, and they would have made a whole lot of money. And whichever validator validated that, they would have got a tip. So you should definitely be using your an MEV validator like validator.com. Now, either way, this person was hacked, which means they were hacked from a hot wallet. They downloaded an incorrect Zoom link. So just use your ledger, use your hardware wallet, use your keystone. Bit more just general crypto news. We've got Google searches for Bitcoin reach a 2-year high, kaboom, and they're only going to go higher, to be perfectly honest. Retail still hasn't got in. Huge amount of money was added to cryptocurrency market over the past week. This it's always scary to go on long or shorting things, especially with leverage. But if you put on some longs in this week, like cross on like Bybit, something a little bit more centralized, cross, nothing too degenerate, this would have easily been, $10K into $200,000 easily. But that's a little bit scary because you can risk losing that 10K. Overall, market's taken a little bit of a moment with BNB, Sol, ADA, Ether's up slightly, BTC's still okay. It says 86,000. It did reach 88 or maybe a little bit higher, like 89,000. So it's down just a tad. Doge is absolutely cooking over here at up 17% in 24 hours. It was like 29 cents and kaboom. Things will pump regardless. Like even XRP, which has really no use whatsoever. We saw that Cardano was like 26 cents and it pumped up to like 60 cents. So that's just what happens in bull cycles. And we're getting a little bit greedier, but we're still nowhere near crazy greed levels. A little bit of Solana news. So applications on Solana now generating more revenue than applications on Ethereum, which is very good to see. I'm not trying to find a way to make myself justifiable in everything I do on Solana. It just makes a whole lot of sense. And I think Solana, don't think it's going to flip ETH this cycle or anything like that, but there's a lot more people coming over to build over here. And I dig it. If you're with Kamino and if you have some stables, you can use something like Lulo, but you can also go and LP them because these vaults are juicy. You're looking at 47% boosted fees. When this drops down to like 15 or 20, then I wouldn't bother. But for now, it's juicy, which is good. And this one's juicy as well. Now, of course, there's small chance of impermanent loss because EURC and USDC, like they're in a bit of a range. And the fact that, let's see if we can have a look at it. Down here, there should be some sort of range. Basically, these are stable coins, but euro and US dollar, they will slightly vary. But I would say when we look at it over a longer period of time, these will outperform just holding them for sure. Now, you'll notice that the Kamino strategy will say this because this is just based on the actual trading fees. It doesn't factor in the boosted fees. So if you're doing it for 2%, there's no point. But for the boosted fees, there is a point. Before we go any further, let me just take this. Bachelor Society, I've already said, I'm not going to give an apology. I already said that I missed Fartcoin, and I've called you out multiple times saying, well done on getting to Fartcoin. So let's, we can't catch everything. And clearly, I'm not immature enough to know every good opportunity. And Memecoins are hard. Fartcoin has done well. So big congrats on that. Bit of dupe news. So I'm going to try and keep things to the point here, but basically Meow's dynamic, right? It's not easy to know everything that's happening in the Jupiterverse because things are always changing and there's different ideas coming up. So it's just like a trail of ideas, and then we do our best to just try and TLDR those ideas. One thing is, he said a vote will be coming later this month for 2 Januaries. So whatever we're going to be doing here, it'll be for literally, all right, let's approve a January for next year and then the year after. And that's to execute on his strategy for the Jupiterverse. Don't know what our strategy is for the Jupiterverse, but I'm going to back it, of course. And if you'll see a lot of positivity, but there is some negativity. And I'm not going to really call out the negative vibes. But what I would say is people can be extremely harsh. You know, there's still nasty people in the world. And therefore on crypto Twitter, they're even nastier. So if you are building something cool, try and say anonymous, to be perfectly honest. It just gives you, it's a little bit easier than if you put your face to your name. Drip House, if you're part of Drip, they just dropped $10,000 to the top thankers, and it'll be happening again. You can go and jump in and do drips if you want to do drips. Don't just expect that some sort of airdrop. It's like the top 100, and you know, maybe it was worth it, maybe it wasn't. Either way, it's just about collecting cool art, essentially. There's another token which you may have got if you've got the Solana Mobile 2, the Solana Seeker. This is worth $74. I'm unsure if I've got it because I haven't checked into that wallet yet. But you may have already sold it for $6. So check your wallet if you've got it. Maybe you want to sell it, maybe you don't. Probably it's going to tank after calling it out on the news like this. Either way, the two loot, this is the loot that you've got from initially the $450 pre-order at the current value, I believe. And if you held some MU, you would have done well. Tuffy, you had to go and claim this, and unsure exactly with every single other one. So we've got some big news here from Binance US. You can now deposit BONK and trade with BONK in USDT. BONK is something I'm like very, very bullish on. I don't want to cover it right now, but there is a bit of there's a lot of short people trying to short it, so it's not breaking out yet. I don't have any like massive longs on. I have a long on, very poorly timed quite some time ago, and yeah, I didn't add to it. Although Gloom did, which I covered yesterday, and he is doing very well. And I was thinking of following him, so silly I didn't. You got to take risks in the space, but you want to manage your risk in a smart way. Both BONK DAO proposals have reached above approval quorum, so we're going to see a whole lot of burning with the BONK, which is good. We're looking at what was it, $23 million worth, plus another 2.3 million. DivvyBet covered them recently. If you want to do any gambling, you can check out them. But eligible wallets can go and connect the wallets and claim the divvy. You can do what you like with it. Personally, I'm just going to provide liquidity, essentially, see how it goes. I want these guys to do well, but not everything in the space is going to find product market fit. I hope they do. And staking's coming later, where you can lock it up for a certain amount of time and get some juicy staking rewards. But it's going to be a hard job for any of these tokens to do really, really well when meme coins have the attention. To the Solana calendar, as usual, whatever's been put into here is by the team, and there's nothing vetted, so there's no like buy signals necessarily. It's just to keep you in the loop. Like for example, Coliseum winners announcement and whatnot. Airdrop, someone asked me just to touch on grass. All I would say is just run grass. Just use the grass thing. I'm trying to do a podcast with Andre, but I haven't got like a ping back, and I'm a little bit too busy to follow up right now. Something as big as grass, they say no on a legal standpoint. They don't want to sometimes put out information there because they need to speak within a very specific realm. I did create a Telegram channel. You can click on it later. I'll post it later on tonight. Let's have a look at the actionables, and let's end for today. DCA Sol on dupe.ag and stakewithvalidate.com. Right now, DCAing is like $50 a clip. So maybe this is just your chance just to jump up in the morning and to go and buy a bit of Sol. And stake it. Always stake your Sol. If you hold stables, check out those LPs on Kamino. You can either do Orca or Radium. Join my Telegram channel. And this is not financial advice, but Fwog and BUU, there's other ones out there with similar branding. I like them, so you may want to check them out. And if you do well on them, by all means, take out your initial and then let them ride. That's not financial advice. That's just watch a whole lot of podcasts on Memecoiners. That's what they do. Follow Dupe on Drip and thank them often if you like. Don't expect anything from that, just if you want to do it. Airdrop Actionables, Meteora, earn fees, Met points. Best thing to do there if you need a bit of help is join the Fee Printers Discord. As much time as I throw into this, there's no way that I could do a video and have someone follow along and get everything out. This is one of the things you have to put in effort, and you would do well. Join the Cube Exchange Spell Wallet Airdrop on Telegram. Play Bull Run on Infinex. And let me show my screen again. Cube Exchange, play Bull Run on Infinex, use Gradient Network, and Grass. All right, we're going to quickly say this. Where's the best place to buy Fwog? Well, the best place to use everything is Dupe, dupe.ag. And then if you're a big whale, don't go putting through $1 million order. Split it up into sizes which have small amounts of lippage. Perfect. Thanks very much for joining in. And Stefan, I did see your messages earlier. I have no idea if those tokens are going to pump, and I can't cover them today. All the best. Thanks again for joining.